bet you're thinking, oh, he's just going to go over the highlights. Nope. We got lowlights too. We got it all over here, man. Including Lu Dort just smacking Luka in the face. These two guys have been going out of the entire series, and the fact that he just hits him in the face right there. Like, obviously, it's not on purpose. He's just trying to put his hand out, maybe trying to get a steal on the crossover. But Luka's face just running into the freeze frame of just him caressing his face. And this right here is going to be a theme of the video. The Thunder, if they're going to have a chance of winning the series, this can't continue to be a thing. This is PJ Washington. The Thunder should be aware of him because he has been killing them all series long. And this is actually a different example of how they've been guarding these ball screens, but the Thunder just begin to have way too many of these open corner threes to someone at PJ Washington that's hitting them, just not that one. Fair warning, if you're one of the like 12 Josh Giddey fans still on the planet, this is going to be a rough video for you. Don't know why he continues to start. Watch him get into his bag right here. Ooh, little spin move, fade away. Brick. Josh Giddey's getting the Ben Simmons treatment right now, and he kind of looks like him, honestly. Also, look at Markieff Morris on the bench right here. Watch him. Just a little fist bump. But next time down, it's fine, Josh. Go ahead and get some more shots up. It's only the biggest game of the year. Just, be very involved in the first couple of minutes. Also, I feel like everybody knows about this, but it's still not being discussed enough. Kyrie is just like not shooting the ball. He's had a couple of really great passes. This was awesome. Like, to be able to convince the defender this much that he's going to go up with this with his left hand, then drop it off for Gafford. Like, he hasn't scored well in the series, but he is playing extremely well. Back to Josh Giddey. This is just not functional NBA offense. Like, they had him as a screener. They tried to do all kinds of stuff to make this work. It's just not going to work. Like, especially it's PJ Washington, who's big, athletic, and guard a little bit. Like, he's going to be able to just roam off this and create plays. Like, this just cannot continue. This can't be a part of OKC's offense the rest of the series. Josh Giddey he can't play more than like 10 minutes, if at all. Like, it just keeps getting worse, bro. This whole video is not just going to be about Josh Giddey, but look at him. Nobody's guarding him. Now he's like, oh, I'm going to go to the dunker spot. Here we go. Pop! Like, Daniel Gafford wanted absolutely none of that. Like, he is the one guarding Josh Giddey. If you want to say guarding, like, he's the one assigned to Josh Giddey, right? They're playing 4-on-5 basketball right now. Here's another one of these Kyrie passes too. Like, they're so concerned about not letting Luka and Kyrie get going that they're just giving up all these easy buckets at the rim. But again, this is a fantastic pass by Kyrie because his eyes are taking him to the baseline. Like, the reason SGA gets caught here is because Kyrie's eyes are going here. SGA obviously doesn't know that there's nobody there, and he puts the pass there. Really cool stuff from Kyrie. Now, what we were talking about earlier with PJ Washington being in the corner, getting open looks, this is more what OKC's going for, right? Like, they want to shade towards Luka off of guys like Derrick Jones. Like, this is fine. It's not fine when it's PJ Washington, but like, this is totally okay. Let's let Derrick Jones drive into tough twos all day long. Gafford gets the putback, but like, that structure we were talking about earlier where they're giving up PJ Washington threes, this is more so what OKC's looking for with that defensive look. Like, at this point, the Josh Giddey thing is almost like a skit of like a random person that you put into an NBA game. Like, we're airballing 19-footers. Like, it's almost like they just put someone from the stands out there in the game. He's just trying to get buckets. Now, the problem for OKC, and one of the reasons why Giddey continues to start and play, is because they just don't really have a fifth guy right now. Like, we're going to talk about later on, Cason Wallace ends up finishing the game, plays really well in the fourth quarter. But now we got Aaron Wiggins coming in for Josh Giddey, right? Like, he's also not spacing the floor particularly well. And they're searching for a fifth guy. And they're hoping it's Giddey, they're hoping it's Wiggins, but I think it's probably going to be Cason Wallace. And as this game goes along, we're going to see more and more of this. This was an awesome SGA game, especially in the second half. He takes so many tough twos in and around the paint. He didn't in this game get to the free throw line a ton. And he makes these kinds of shots just look so easy on a really good defender in Josh Green. This was really cool for OKC too. Imagine trying to guard what this is right here. And this is a nice little look for Jalen Williams. They read this well, but look at all the traffic this creates, right? Because they know that they're gonna have someone like Gafford playing off. They've got Jalen Williams in the game. No more Giddey in the game, but this is Isaiah Joe. And Dallas just gets caught up here, and then all of a sudden we see Aaron Wiggins get open. He attacks the closeout. This is really, really cool stuff for OKC. But this right here early in the game, this was a problem for Oklahoma City, right? Because I talked about, they're gonna let the role player guys shoot threes. They were making them in the first and the second quarter. But defensively, Daniel Gafford has been really, really good for Dallas, and he could have blocked this thing with his elbow. Like, Jalen Williams, he mistimes it. I'm not kidding. I think Jalen Williams thinks that he's going to dunk this when he catches the ball, or that there's just not going to be anybody there, because he takes off with 2 feet. It's kind of a weird in-between situation. Maybe he should, take a dribble and maybe get off a little floater. I don't know what Jalen Williams has in the bag right here, but he takes off with 2 feet. I think he thinks he's punching this. Like, I think that's why he went up. Wasn't expecting someone to be there. And then he goes up and then just tries to adjust, and Daniel Gafford literally could have blocked this with his elbow. Now, this has been a theme a little bit in this series. we're just not calling push-offs anymore, whether it be on SGA, whether it be on Luka, whether it be on anybody. This is fine, right? SGA loves to decelerate, get back into his pull-up game. Arm extension, it's an offensive foul. Now, if Josh Green sells this more, maybe they call it, but tough bucket for SGA. And one of the things that's been really cool about the series so far for Luka is obviously he's not healthy, but he's finding different ways to kind of get his points. There's a lot more mid-range stuff here. He's really, really trying to get Lou Dort in foul trouble. So there's a lot of these. There's a lot of stops, kind of leaning his weight into the guy. And if Dort backs off because he's concerned about getting a foul, Luka's getting a lot of these like 15 to 18-foot jumpers, and it's been working well for him because the step-back three hasn't been as consistent for the entirety of the series. I don't know why. I can't stop laughing at the Giddey clips. I want you to look at this assistant coach right here and watch his mannerisms the entire time that this possession goes on, right? He's telling Derek Jones, hey, go more into the paint. We don't care about Giddey. And Josh Giddey's right there. He hears this. He's like, okay, go in the paint. Don't worry about it. Giddey catches the ball, puts this three up. Watch the assistant coach. Good job. He gives him a thumbs up when Josh Giddey makes the three. He tells Derek Jones, get in the paint. Then he makes the three. Good job, guys. I want to give a shout out to Chet too for this game because he definitely was much more aggressive, especially in the first half, looking for his shot. They needed him to step up offensively, and there was a handful of these just like, we really need a bucket kind of things. You know, it's hovering around a 10-point game. We can't make threes. We need someone to go get one. You know, Jalen Williams isn't fully healthy right now. No SGA on the floor. And they're looking for him. I think as his career progresses, we're going to see more and more of this from Chet and less just like, you know, spotting up on the perimeter kind of stuff. And this is what I'm talking about with some of these Kyrie passes. Like OKC is shading so far towards Kyrie and they don't have any kind of size of the rim. Like Chet's the biggest guy on the floor, but like they have nobody in here. Lively is huge compared to everybody else that they have. And if you're going to shade that much and Chet is going to come out that far on this right-handed drive from Kyrie, Cason Wallace not going to be able to do anything about Derek Lively at the rim other than foul him. But again, Kyrie, who is a natural scorer, is doing such a good job of finding these guys. Now, when OKC's doing all that shading and they're trying to, you know, contain Kyrie and Luka, this is more so what they want it to look like. They're like, okay, if we give up contested corner threes to Josh Green, that's fine. If he makes them, maybe we'll make some adjustments. But this is what they want it to look like. Obviously, they held the Mavs offense down really, really well. But there's some key distinctions between what they want it to look like, which is this, and what they don't want it to look like, which is some of these PJ Washington open threes. For example, a couple possessions later, like this is not sustainable throughout the course of a series. Like PJ Washington misses a couple of these. He is going to hit these. Like he's going to hit these at 40, 50% rate. And I understand Kyrie, Luka, those are the guys you're focused on. And SGA is worried about the role here because some of the big guys have been really, you know, controlling the paint for Dallas, but like this again, it's just not sustainable for the entirety of a series. And as OKC obviously goes on to win a game, if I could say one thing is the theme of the night, it is this. This is first half, OKC's down 11. They haven't scored in almost 4 minutes. SGA comes in the game and he's like, okay, I'm going to go get us one. And these are the kinds of tough twos that he just makes look so easy. Like PJ Washington guards that well, has size on SGA. This is a fantastic contest. Like if you're looking at mid-range defense, like that, I don't know how you're supposed to contest this shot better than PJ Washington just did. It doesn't matter. SGA gets them their first bucket in 4 minutes. And it became glaringly clear as this game went on how much they were going to have to rely on SGA and how much different any of the other offensive options for OKC were. Like Jalen Williams is good. I like Jalen Williams. Sometimes some of these shots of the rim don't look great. And this right here, too, is really, really cool stuff for Derek Lively because OKC goes into a little bit of a trap here. They get Kyrie in the corner. And this is a kind of situation OKC is cool with. Like Derek Lively in the middle of the floor, playing 4-on-3, trying to figure out where to go with the ball. It's a nice little read here. It helps if PJ Washington makes the shot. He's missed a couple of these. But like this is where OKC wants to be. But it's cool when Lively obviously makes the free throws at the end of game 3, but also, you know, kind of makes some of these reads. Start to see some growth from the young guy. Like this one, I don't have any words. Like this kind of an angle, this kind of a tough shot. SGA is just special in the mid-range sometimes, man. But I will say right here, this possession is where I was like, OKC season might be over. Like they're looking at going down 3-1. They're down 14, third quarter. They only got 43 points on the board. And SGA just smokes the finger roll. Like this is a nice little drive here, cuts between the defense and just puts it on the back of the rim. Like right here in this moment, Dallas ball up 14 just to start the second half. OKC's got nothing going offensively. I thought the season might be over. But then SGA starts to get it going a little bit. He gets Gafford to the ball screen coverage. We're just going to fade away right here, hit a little tough too. And this is the stretch right here. I put this on Twitter. 6:47 to go in the third. OKC down 9. SGA scores or assists on all but one bucket to finish out this quarter. They love having Isaiah Joe as a screener to get these switches because they don't want to leave him open. That's a tough 2 right there. Gets the matchup against Luka here, uses his size, gets in a lane, another tough finish there. Now, who else wants it? Okay, we get Josh Green in the switch. We're going to get to our in-between game. Free throw line, fadeaway. Sure. Then OKC gets this little pet play that they love. They love getting SGA in this area. If they get a switch on this, cool. But if not, they're okay letting SGA just operate right here at the nail, at the free throw line. It's, again, once again, Josh Green, who, I mean, he's guarding all of these well. It just doesn't matter right now. Not to be outdone by Josh Giddey's contributions. I need to know. I know that it's like a running 1'3". There's 100 places that he could put this on the rim, off the backboard. That'd be like, okay, that's a really good attempt by Josh Giddey there to try and get this bucket. He puts it on the top left of the glass from the opposite side. This ball hits right here. How is that even possible? Oh, it's so tough to watch. Now, I know we've been talking a lot about SGA and about OKC in this video, but the finish of this game was just awesome. I mean, Luka started to get into his moves a little bit more using his size against Lu Dort in the post right here. Like, obviously, OKC comes out with it. They finished the game really well, but both these teams played extremely well. This is what I was talking about earlier, though. Like, I think in the playoffs, we just stopped calling push-offs. Like, Luka's obviously strong. It's close, right? Like, obviously, Dort's momentum has taken him this way. Maybe I'm okay with this one. I don't know. It just, in real time, it's like you definitely could call that if you wanted to. And at this point, they're down 8, 7:38 left in the game. And the lineup is Wallace Williams, SGA, Aaron Wiggins, and Chet. And they try a couple of different things. They bring in Kenrich Williams. They bring in Jalen Williams. But the ending lineup is just the starters with Kason Wallace along with them to finish the game. I remember watching this one in real time too. Like this is a nice bucket for Kyrie. I like the little baseline pull up. I mean, this is the big controversy with carry calls, right? Like it looks weird. The ball's 100 feet in the air, but his hand isn't under the ball. So is it a carry? I don't think it is. But in real time, it's one of those makes you jump up off the couch and be like, that doesn't look right. And then just like the end of the third quarter, about 6 minutes left. It's SGA time right here. Jalen Williams is actually normally a really good fourth quarter player for them. Didn't play particularly well here, but just getting to his spots. Here we are again. We get a switch on a Kyrie. We're going to use our size here a little bit, get into the middle of the floor so we have all the space that we need, a little step back. Kyrie's not even there. Like, SGA is way bigger than people realize that he is. Like, it's a decent contest for Kyrie. Shea's not even seeing him. And then down the stretch, like, this is what OKC wants, right? Like, they want to be, if they're going to lose, they want it to be to Derek Jones, open threes on the wing. They don't want Kyrie, Luka, these guys creating. And near the end of this game, this was working for them. I've run out of superlatives for the end of the SGA game here. Just more tough buckets. I don't have an explanation for this one. We get Tim Hardaway. We get to the baseline, kind of a tough angle. There's 15 seconds left on the shot clock when SGA shoots this ball. And there's a better angle that's going around on Twitter today of how crazy this shot actually was. He's behind the backboard. There's 14 seconds on the shot clock. That's how you know SGA is feeling it. Because this first angle is like, okay, kind of. But then Hardaway kind of walls him up. So he leans into him. And then to create a little bit more space, goes over the backboard. Just good luck. At that point, I was like, okay, OKC's winning the game. And unfortunately for Dallas, the close of this game was just tough for them offensively. Kyrie misses this bucket here. I talked about some of the missed open threes. I think Kyrie misses a couple more shots here down the stretch as well. And OKC, they just made the plays they needed to. Here's an open three for Chet. We go back to Kyrie now, working against Kason Wallace. Really good defense here. Just puts it up a little bit short. Here's SGA creating again, finds Lu Dort. We're going to knock those down. And again, just OKC making the plays they need to on the road. Not to be outdone, here comes Tim Hardaway. Luka with an interesting little pass there. Tim Hardaway's never going to shy away from an open three. This was a really cool play as well because Jalen Williams just takes his time. He's patient. He gets walled up, realizes he still has his dribble, gets to the rim. Big bucket for OKC. Then this pretty much seals the game. Just a careless pass there by Hardaway. Gets stolen. We get Jalen Williams in transition. Then we get a nice little Derek Jones lap here, but that's it. That's how OKC ends up winning game 4. Really impressive showing for them, and I feel like a real maturation process for them, something we're probably going to look back on if they continue in the playoffs. I'm just excited that we get more of this series because these games have been awesome.